US rethinks China tariffs in wake of Taiwan response. China's Langya virus raises new public health concerns. New satellite images show destroyed Russian warplanes. Flights are restarting to Russia. Meta's AI reveals mixed feelings about Mark Zuckerberg. A new reason to stop plucking gray hairs.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's Friday, August 12th, and here are your top stories. Though China's war games around Taiwan have come to an end for the time being, these military drills have led Biden administration officials to recalibrate their thinking on whether to scrap some tariff preferences or potentially impose others on Beijing. The administration has been wrestling for months with various ways to ease the costs of duties imposed on Chinese imports during predecessor Donald Trump's tenure as the U.S. tries to tamp down skyrocketing inflation.
With the November midterm elections looming and the threat of losing one or both chambers in Congress to Republicans, easing inflation would be a major notch on Democratic President Joe Biden's belt.
U.S. officials considered a combination of eliminating some tariffs, launching a new Section 301 investigation into potential areas for additional tariffs, and expanding a list of tariff exclusions to aid U.S. companies that can only get certain supplies from China. The White House said that Biden has not made a decision on the issue and that all options remain on the table. The tariffs make Chinese imports more expensive for U.S. companies, which, in turn, make products cost more for consumers.
According to a research paper, a new virus has been found in northeastern China. It has been named Langya virus, or LayV, and fortunately has not been associated with any human deaths. Most infected cases were said to have had mild symptoms, including fever, fatigue, coughing, and loss of appetite. The official stated that there is no need to raise concern since the fatality rate is significantly low, and there's no evidence showing that the virus can pass between humans. Still, due to the small sample size of only 15 cases traced, no final conclusions have been drawn as of yet.
Symptoms include fatigue, cough, loss of appetite, but as well as kidney and liver failures. Researchers believe small mice-like mammals called shrews are carriers of this virus.
Although the virus has been around since at least 2018, it has now only been formally identified by scientists. The virus is zoonotic, which means it jumps from animals to humans. Researchers have found the virus in dogs and goats, but only in low proportions. The same virus was found in more than a quarter of 262 shrews tested for the study. Because of this, scientists think that shrews might serve as a natural reservoir for Langya. With little known about the virus, it's too early to say exactly how it will develop. But for now, it does not seem to spread in the same manner as COVID.
Russian authorities attempted to downplay the severity of an explosion that took place on Tuesday at Saki Air Base. However, new satellite images from Planet Labs showed 3 major craters and at least 8 destroyed warplanes. Local officials listed dozens of damaged buildings and declared a state of emergency. The cause of the explosion is still unknown. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense says it could not determine the cause, while the Russian Ministry of Defense said the blasts were caused by detonated aviation ammunition, but did not reveal how it had been detonated.
Satellite images appear to show extensive damage to a Russian airbase in occupied Crimea that was hit by a series of explosions on Tuesday. 8 warplanes appear to have been damaged or destroyed.
Peter Layton, a fellow at the Griffith Asia Institute and a former Australian Air Force pilot, said the satellite images show that the destroyed warplanes appear to be Su-24 bombers and Su-30 multi-role fighter jets. The explosion killed at least 1 person and injured at least 9, according to a statement from the Ministry of Health of Crimea. CNN reported that this could be Moscow's biggest loss of military aircraft in a single day since World War II.
The Russo-Ukrainian war has been going on for nearly 6 months now, and one of the repercussions of the boycott from the international community is the complete isolation of Russia. Just as flight bans and sanctions imposed by airlines and nations seem to never end, one airline has decided to start making flights back to Russia. Wizz Air Abu Dhabi, the Emirati subsidiary of Wizz Air, has announced it will recommence flights from Abu Dhabi to Moscow with incredibly low fares. The decision was aimed to test potential interest.
The company that was founded in December 2019 as one of Europe's fastest growing budget airlines proclaimed that tickets would be on sale from October 3rd. A source inside the company said that it's still considered a risky move that could turn into a profound PR crisis. Furthermore, the bigger issue of fatigue remains. The company was said to have had a difficult summer. In June, Wizz Air CEO Yosef Varadi was recorded telling airline staff to push through fatigue during summer chaos. This CEO statement caused the pilots' union to protest potential safety risks to airline employees.
Blendbot 3 is a chatbot that uses artificial intelligence and can chat about nearly any topic. Meta released the chatbot to the public on Friday, August 5th. The program learns from large amounts of publicly available language data. Everyone who uses Blendbot is required to acknowledge they understand it's for research and entertainment purposes only, that it can make untrue or offensive statements, and that they agreed to not intentionally trigger the bot to make offensive statements, said a Meta spokesperson.
When asked by journalists what the chatbot thought of the company's CEO and founder, the new AI chatbot had some rather strong opinions about its boss, Mark Zuckerberg. It replied, "Our country is divided, and he didn't help that at all." A Business Insider journalist said the chatbot called Mr. Zuckerberg creepy. It wasn't all bad, though. The chatbot also stated that it thinks he's a great guy, and you have to admire him for his business savvy and philanthropy. However, Meta has made the Blendbot 3 public and risked bad publicity for a reason.
For most people, turning gray is inevitable. The first reaction to this transition is usually to pluck your gray hair, but further research has shown that it might not be the best way to deal with this natural phenomenon. The melanin produced by pigment cells in our hair follicles is the reason our hair stay black. Once the cells lose the activity and stop producing melanin, our hair starts turning gray. So plucking our gray hair is not going to change how the cells produce melanin. Furthermore, the active cell might damage the follicle and cause hair loss.
Hairstylist and founder of 3 More Inches Hair Care, Michael Van Clark, said, "If you make plucking a habit when less than 1% of the head is gray, you'll have less hair to work with in a few years' time, when 10% of the hairs are gray. The plucked hair whose life you shortened will rest and start its next growth cycle after about 3 months. At each cycle after about age 20, the hair grows back a little thinner and stays around for a slightly shorter time. The alternative way of changing the appearance without damaging the follicles is cutting them off, but the action is only a temporary solution, not a permanent cure. There's also the ultimate solution: try to embrace your grays without fighting it."
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. Let's make every day a fun day. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.